this is Theresa for Ladies of Craft Beer. I just got finished watching the 2010 Apple Cup, which is the big rivalry football game between the University of Washington and Washington State University. I don't have a favorite team. I kind of cheer for both sides, so I didn't really care who won. But the Huskies won, which is great because now they get to go to a bowl game, and that will make a lot of my friends and family very happy, so good for them. I am going to celebrate the Apple Cup by having a glass of Spire Mountain apple cider. Spire Mountain is based out of Olympia, Washington. It's part of Fish Brewing, which is also the label for organic fishtail organic ales and Leavenworth beers. So Spire Mountain's been around since 1985, and they were acquired by Fish in 2004. They use Northwest fruit and traditional cider making practices. So, I have a special place in my heart for cider because I didn't like beer. Before I was a beer drinker, I stuck with cocktails and wine and things like Smirnoff Ice, things like that. So, I didn't like the taste of beer. But my mom one year got a six-pack of Hornsby's crisp cider. And I was like, okay, I'll try this. And it was really light. It was and I was like, oh, this isn't so bad. It's like just, like sparkling cider that I'd always had at New Year's. Except it has alcohol in it, so it's great. But eventually, as I kept drinking it, I was like, I kind of like the aftertaste. And the aftertaste was more of the beer flavor. So eventually, I kind of started to be willing to try other kind of fruit beers, like Pyramid has an apricot ale, and I drank that, and I was like, oh, this is good. And then it was like, well, I mean, maybe I'll try a blonde, like that won't be so bad. And then now here we are. So I'm gonna pour this out and see what it looks like. I read that you can use a Pilsner glass if you want to. I don't have any, and I've also seen it poured into a pint glass over ice in bars, which seems kind of weird to me, so I am going to use a wine glass. So here we go. Ooh. See those bubbles? It's very carbonated. It looks basically like champagne. You could serve it in a champagne flute if you wanted to be fancy like that. Again, I don't have any of those. So it's really, really light. Spire Mountain also makes a dark and dry apple cider that has molasses and brown sugar, so it's, again, darker and a little bit, has more of a dry flavor. And they also make a pear cider, which is really good. I've had that before. So smells like apples. Smells like apple juice. Very carbonated. Very refreshing. It's a little dry, not quite as much of a beer aftertaste as Hornsby's cider, but kind of a dry, more wine aftertaste. So refreshing. This is a great, 1 o'clock drink if you're in the summer and you're working, or you're starting a barbecue or a party and you wanna have a drink in your hand, but you don't want to have something that's gonna put you out for the rest of the night. You're gonna want to last a long time. So this is a nice starter drink, and it's also a nice starter drink for people who aren't beer drinkers. If they say they don't like beer, kind of like slip this in, and then they'll maybe be like I was, like, oh, what else do you got? So that's one of the pluses for ciders. The pear cider I actually had at a beer festival that I went to, and the pear is a little bit lighter, a little bit crisper. It's lighter in color and also kind of in aroma and in taste. and I don't think it's quite as dry as the apple, but I mean, that's one of the reasons I like dry apple cider, is that it kind of has that beer essence without being too heavy. This is 5% alcohol, so it's as strong as a lot of as an average beer. So don't think of it as a girl's drink. It's lighter, it's airier, but it's not a girl's drink. So I hope you get a chance to try it. Spire Mountain Apple Cider. Cheers.